that anything off? Is there anything that's crossing the line when it comes to that? Like, how do you reach out to that younger generation?
There is no line cross. You know, I feel like if we're honest and transparent first, I'm big on communication. So let's start there. So I'm big on communication. I believe that you can cut somebody out in the middle of a conversation and get away with it if you say it the right way. You know what I mean? So if the best
now
way
we won't, but you know, we allow people to have their freedom of speech.
Right. But the best way to communicate is being able to relate. You see what I'm saying? So if I can relate because I know what I've gone through in my past and I see where you're headed, then I have the right and I have the power and the know-how, if I overcame what I experienced, to share with you my processes. I do this with my kids, right? I talk about this with some friends the other day, and I was like, our kids could sometimes be stuck where we were 5 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So for an example, I went through a divorce 5 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Me and my daughter, I'm a single father, you know, had custody of my daughter, so she rolled with me. You see what I'm saying? So everything that I experienced, she experienced. She was affected as well. So for her, whatever traumatic experience she felt I experienced back then, she may still be holding on to those things. Right. But we experience the same thing, but maybe different levels, right? So my thing is, in my process with learning how to overcome and become a better person, get past that and healing, I have to now go back and walk her through my process because I left her back there because that's where she's stuck.
But your experiences happen with you.
My experience, yes. It's all about my experiences. See, so same thing with the youth. If I know I used to be in a gang, I've sold drugs, high speed chase with the police, I've, you know, broken the cars, broken the houses. I've done a lot of dumb stuff back in my day, you know, Haitian from Florida, Zopound, you know, all that stuff. So I've done all that stuff. So I can relate on different levels because now I'm a new person and that's not my lifestyle anymore. I don't have to look over my shoulders. And it's my job, what I feel, is to educate the next generation to live that same kind of lifestyle. It's about quality. We want
to not live that same kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, to not live that same kind of lifestyle. Right.
And I think they'll probably listen to you better.
Yeah.
If you can relate.
I can relate. That's where the separation comes with the elders and us. So if the elders gave up on us because they couldn't relate to what we're dealing with, or they'd rather be hands off, then what do we have now to give to the next generation? You see what I'm saying? So if we wasn't equipped to give to the next generation, then we're just as lost. And they're going to be more lost, even more lost because we didn't equip them, you know, in their upbringing. So,
and then being honest, if it's not like, for instance, his experiences aren't my experiences.
Right.
So if somebody comes up to me, I'm like, you know what? While I might not personally know, let me connect you with somebody else or another brother that's been through it. I've had one of my best friend's little brother, you know, reach out to me about some men's health questions. And I was elated that he felt comfortable enough to reach out to me. But I was just like, well, baby, I can't help you with that. But let me get my brother that can. You know, so it's also about us creating that network and creating that community, whether it's blood family or just those that we're creating family in the village with.
Right.
So that we can lean on each other.
I feel like it's safer having people like yourself do that.
Yeah.
Because some people won't be honest and tell a person, "Oh, I haven't been through that. Let me direct you this way."
Right. Fake it till they make it.
Yeah, they'll fake it till they make it.
So
thank you. I congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
Acceptance.